What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the world of indie games, we'll be taking a look at a title called Dredge. This is a game where you are a fisherman that has been summoned to kind of like a New England-y style place, where nasty Lovecraftian things happen between the waves and nobody says what they mean, and everything is kind of like comforting, but at the same time, a little bit off. In this game, as a fisherman, you're going to go out and catch things, and there are going to be secrets along the bottom of the ocean along the way, and you're going to try not to get eaten by the stuff that exists out there under the waves as you do your job. There are going to be quests, there are people that approach you, there are going to be building little settlements, there's crafting, there's research, you can upgrade your boat. In a lot of ways, it kind of reminds me of Sunless Sea, but a little bit less hostile, and a little bit more focused on just anxiety and feeling like something is slightly off. The last time we played this game, it was a demo that the developers has sent over, and we played the first 30 minutes. So this time around, I decided to get like 2 to 2.5 hours on into the game so that you could see all the mechanics as they unfold. We're going to play around with those mechanics here today and hopefully have a good time and decide whether or not this is a game you wanted to add to your wish list or pass on. Unlike many games these days, this game is coming out in 1.0. It's done on March 30th when it comes out. I'm playing it a little bit early right now, and when it comes out on the 30th, it's going to be for $25, which is actually that's a pretty high price for an indie game right there. But from what I've seen so far in the couple hours that I've played, this seems to be a very high quality game that has a very strong sense of self and knowing what it is. And so let's dive straight on in. It's also important to note that on the day this video goes live, I will be streaming this game. In fact, I'll probably be streaming it for the rest of the week because I'm very excited about this title. I've been waiting for it for a long time. But that's it. If you look down below, you'll find a link to all that, the Twitch stream and my Discord, which I'll ping when I go live. Alright, so this is the central hub where you're going to spend a lot of time in this game. I'm going to run through, but at the bottom left, if there's anybody notable inside of like a town or area, you are going to be able to speak with them, and they'll give you various quests and tasks they want you to do. This is our boat right here. We also have our little storage yard where I've been saving up some of the goodies that I've found on the bottom of the ocean. Everything from my research bits to random crafting materials to like treasures and stuff that I've actually gotten off of sunken wrecks. If we go back, you can also see we've got a fishmonger over here. The fishmonger will sell you crab traps, and he will also allow you to sell off your haul once you've captured some things, and this is where you're going to make a lot of your money at. Other than that, we've also got a shipwright who can give you a number of different, I guess, fishing rods and things of that nature. And then you've also got the dry dock, which is where you come in with crafting materials, and you're going to be able to upgrade your boat and make it bigger and bigger and bigger and huger and huger and huger until you've got a trawler that's definitely worth its reputation and worth its salt. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at the tab menu real fast. We'll go to our cabin, and I kind of need to think about what tasks I have in front of me. So it looks like I've done a whole lot of quests here. My sticky notes are actually crossed off pretty well. The collector wants me to go ahead and see if I can find rings in the Stellar Basin. We need a music box in the Gale Cliffs. We need to find a key in the Marrows. It looks like we need to find a necklace in Twisted Strand, and so there's some things to get done. Unfortunately, it's 8:21 p.m., and the waters in these parts are not safe at all for you to be fishing in the dead of night. So let's go ahead and wait till morning, and I'll give you your first inaugural trip on my old ship. I haven't named it or anything. That's probably bad luck. I don't know. Is that bad luck in, like, the Sea World? Like, not Sea World. We're not talking about Shamu or anything out here, but I'm talking about, like, in the sailing world. Is it bad luck to not name your vessel? Because I have not named my vessel. In Morrow, we need to find a ship over here. I'm just going to kind of like cruise around. You can see the little groups of fish in the water, and really the principal goal of the game is to catch enough fish to earn a living and to be able to buy upgrades and things that you might need in order to get the cash to buy, you know, all kinds of new equipment and things. We've got some shapes in the deep. This actually looks like a place where I might be able to get some cloth out of the ocean. And so we're going to play a little mini game right here. The goal of the mini game is basically to stay on the red track without hitting the gaps. You press the F to jump from the outside to the inside, and then you get your cloth right there. The game does give you a little sorting table that you can play around with, just in case you're already full up on equipment or you're full up on fish or whatever else. That way you can kind of like think about where you want things to go. I find that to be really helpful. Honestly, Escape from Tarkov didn't get that feature for a really, really long time. We'll put that right there, and we'll put that right there. You do get to play a little bit of inventory Tetris in this game, which I find to be one of the more delightful facts of the game. We've talked about this before, but I love little clicky, rotatey inventories where I get to play around with the shape of things and where stuff goes. What do we have over here? Like eels? Is that what those are? Yeah, it looks like there's eels inside of here. Every fish in the game kind of has like their own mini game that you play in order to get them into the boat. Sometimes it segments this out into like multiple different parts. Sometimes it bounces back and forth. Sometimes it goes in a circle. Every breed and type of fish kind of has their own thing going on, and you just sort of like memorize or adapt to the fact. There we go. We got a couple of eel. I don't know if I need many more eels. I need to save a little bit of room in case we find like a shipwreck or something around here because I'm supposed to be catching something. There are red vibes coming off of whatever this is right here. We can try to dredge it, I guess. I do have a dredger on the back of my ship that I got while I was playing through the storyline. I think this should be actually fairly easy to pull out, I think. There we go. Hey, we got the, that's the ornate key that what's-his-name wanted. Unfortunately, it is enormous. I don't know if you've ever seen an eel before, but eels are quite grandiose. They're a big fish, in my experience. And so, sorry, I'm digesting, like, bean burrito right now, dude. Like, there's a taqueria near where I live where, like, they fry just everything in lard, dude. And everything from that place just tastes so delightful and so delicious. It's just, I don't know what it is about just like pure suet or like pure lard that makes the food taste better. But even something simple, dude, you go into that place and even something simple like rice tastes amazing because every last little bit of it is like soaked in like lard. I guess that's just it. You soak stuff in butter and fat and it tastes amazing. That's just the way life works. So nighttime is upon us. When nighttime comes around, if you look at the top of the screen, there's a little eyeball and it kind of like furtively glances back and forth and sort of like freaks out. When that maxes out, bad things are going to start to happen. Your character's going to start to hallucinate. Your character's going to start to see things in the dark. And those things are not a figment of your imagination. Once they manifest, they actually come after your boat. I'm not going to spoil too much what happens, just so like if you decide to explore the game, you can find it for yourself. But you do want to keep your terror kind of low. Whenever you get eels or stuff like that that you want to sell, you should absolutely come back to the fishmonger. You hold down the F key and bam, there goes all of our eels. They've been thrown into his inventory. We made like $100. Nothing really to write home about. I think the other thing that we need to do for right now is I need to throw the cloth inside of here for later. I think I need to pick up some planks and I need to pick up some scrap so that I can buy some new upgrades, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. We'll maybe pick it up in the morning so that we can craft some stuff. Let's go ahead and rest till dawn so we're not worrying about our terror being awful. And then I may try to drop that key off, actually, with the collector. It's kind of big, and I don't want to carry it around with me, and I definitely don't want it inside my storage warehouse just due to its girthy size. It's a chunky key, all right? It's the kind of key that I definitely don't think you're going to need like an industrial strength ring. It's got to be towed behind a Jeep or something if you want to carry it around with you. A very inconvenient ring, in my opinion. Let's go on over here, and we will drop this off with the collector. The collector is kind of like an Epicurean. He's a mystery character in this game that always kind of like wants things and never really explains why he wants them. Can I talk to him real quick? You enter the collector's house, and he's at the back holding a crimson book and seems impatient. You have something, don't you? Show me. All the portraiture in this game is done very well, while the main graphics of the game tend towards minimalism. I have found that the portraiture in this game, and the places where the game needs details, like the actual items themselves and the things that go inside your inventory, they definitely delivered. Whoever the artist was on this did a really good job. I have the key. You hand him the key and the cold metal shimmers. Strange shine as he holds it. The shape of the key, the teeth, and the head now seem changed but smaller. Has it always been this way? Is this all? Where's the lock? The collector gets agitated. It seems the pieces we're looking for have traveled further than anticipated. Much further, I would suspect. In that case, allow me to aid your travels. He turns a few pages in his book and mutters something low under his breath. A burst of light fills your vision and you stagger back briefly. Now go. We have more relics to uncover. Yeah, so he's gonna give us, like, magic powers as we deliver all these various items that he wants to have for himself. My intuition tells me that the current may have carried debris to the southeast towards the Gale Cliffs. Make that your priority. I'll mark a location on your map where you can begin your search. Anything else? Nope. I will be going because you're creepy, and I'm pretty sure you just blasted me with eldritch magic, and now I'm terrified for my own safety. There's also, or it's only 9:05 in the morning, like we've got plenty of time left in the day to track down more goodies out here in the field. Ooh, if you see that little glow right there, that glow means that there's something of interest inside this school of fish. So let's go ahead and get after it. I'm pretty sure these are just, a 3-headed cod. Never seen one of those before. 3 heads writhe and struggle in unison. 3 mouths hang agape, then close together. 3 lives lived as one. 1 fate bound to many. Okay. Let's grab a few more fishies down here. I mean, this is our job. We're supposed to be bringing dinner back for the town. In my experience, the all-seeing cod, staring outwards and unblinking, eyes borrowed from a larger being, but not the mind to process what it sees. Oh boy. I'm gonna hold off right there. I think we've got enough weird fish inside the boat. My mom would probably slap me on the arm right there for calling them weird, and she'd be like, well, they're not weird, they're just a little bit special. But I'm like, it's looking at me with the unblinking eyes of a I don't want that. I don't need cloth right now. I need, like, wood or something. This is scrap metal, I think. I could use a scrap metal. Let's grab a scrap metal real quick. I think a scrap metal is gonna be nice and useful. There we go. And so there's our scrap metal. And I only needed like 1 of them. Let's back it up like a dump truck real quick. Boop. Boop. All right. And I don't see... I'm just going to do like a quick lap around this island because I don't think I've ever been around the backside. And I'd like to have some rough idea of where I'll be able to get certain resources when the time comes. Now, without being able to get ourselves any wood here... we're not going to be able to do any upgrades when we get back to town, which is sort of unfortunate, because I personally feel like that was the ambition that I was trying to undertake during this little voyage to the sea. But the game seems to... oh, there's wood right there. Okay, turn on the lights. You can forestall terror a little bit by keeping the lights on while you're out here harvesting. We'll bring that up to there, jump the gap right there. There's 1 wood. And it's been depleted, unfortunately. I must have hit that one previously. Let's get back to town, and I don't think that I have any wood on me right now. What are these right here? Oh, those are squids. Apparently, there's some kind of weird squid over here. All right, let's see if we can find the weird squid. Oh, is that a squid full of teeth? Tasting tongues writhe wildly around sets of yellow, crooked teeth. The top row are flattened, like human molars. Ugh. Nope, don't like that. The good news is, when you find all these weird, freakish fish that you're dragging out of the ocean, the fishmonger seems to be oddly interested in them. He pays you a lot more for their custom, I guess. The lighthouse keeper emerges from the dark forest that flanks the town. She walks towards the dock with a confused look on her face. Oh, it's you. Who were you expecting? Your engine sounds like, Sorry, I mistook it for the vessel of an old friend. Dejected, she turns and walks back towards the lighthouse. Odd. Okay, well, fishmonger, what do you give me? $200, not bad. Not a terrible day's work, in all honesty. What do I have in storage right now? In storage, I have no wood, unfortunately. So I don't think there'll be any upgrades on the docket for us. I mean, technically, I could get some more nets and stuff. Over here, 2 scrap metal, 4 wood, 3 cloth, and 1 of something that I haven't seen before, whatever those plates are over there. Okay. Well, then we'll wait it out, I guess. There's not really anything that I need to do right now. Let's go ahead and close this off. It's frog season right now, so I'm sorry if you hear any frogs in the background of my video. The frogs, I live in a marsh, alright? I live in a swamp like Shrek. An endless swamp. And like, the frogs, it's frog season right now. The rains are beginning to end, and it's starting to warm up ever so slightly by like 5 to 10 degrees. And so, The frogs are starting to wake up. The Gale Cliffs is where he wants me to go. What other stuff, though, was in the pursuits menu? So we needed a music box in the Gale Cliffs. We needed a ring in the Stellar Basin. We needed to find a necklace in the Twisted Strand. We need to find a watch in Devil's Spine. Okay, well, let's head on out that way, I suppose. I don't know if we actually have the speed and agility to get out there in one day. We may actually find ourselves stranded and near the edge of nothing, in all honesty. I haven't been out that far. Ooh, there's a shark over here. No, I'm going to save room. I'm going to resist the urge to defish the entire ocean, because that's the first thing I want to do when I play a game like this, which I know that I've said on multiple occasions that, like, I actually don't like hurting or killing things. I don't prefer it anyways, but I've said that the ocean is the devil, but I'm actually not a big fan of, like, seafood or taking from the ocean, in all honesty, in real life. If I don't have to, anyways. It looks like there's a crashed boat over there, maybe on the rocks. Let's go look. Sometimes these little islands that are way out on the periphery, they have their own dock, and you can sleep at that dock even though there's no town or there's no village around it. The game doesn't really particularly seem to care, just as long as you've got a place that you can make sure once night arrives so that you can kind of like clear out your madness. Actually, I don't know what that is over there. That's definitely not a dock. I'm not totally sure what it might be. What are you? You approach a hooded figure swathed in dark blue robes. Their face is barely visible. Fisherman, help me. You could barely hear the rasping whisper above the wind and waves. Fulfill the hunger. The hooded figure unfurls an old paper scroll. They point to the shape shown at the top. It appears to be a blue mackerel. Blue mackerel's pretty easy. There may be one right over here. They encircle. And so you should be, I think these are them right here, actually. We might be able to grab them, although it's kind of late in the day, dude. It's kind of late in the day, and I think I need a dock. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there is one over here. Not great news. A rotten mast lays down on this island, half hidden by foliage. At its base, the old boat is cracked in two. Look inside. Oh, hey, what's going on? A bag of doubloons. That's way better than singloons. We've got some research material right there. Research materials, you can take them back to a dock, and you can unlock new technology with them, which just increases the amount of stuff that the shipwright has available for you to interact with, like new fishing rods, new ways for you to drag things off the bottom of the ocean, new engines, that kind of stuff. These right here look like mackerels to me. I think these are our guys. Oh, there's little dolphins right there, dude. All right. We'll knock out a mackerel. There we go. That's all that he wanted. I don't honestly know if I can make it back to town in time from here, but I'm willing to live life on the edge. This may go really wrong for me. I'm staying out later than I would normally recommend, but we have a hooded figure over here that I want to give this to. With expert precision, they plunge their hands through the gullet of the fish and tear out its heart. They stuff it into their mouth unceremoniously. More. Still empty. They point to another shape on a second scroll. This one looks like a tiger mackerel. I've never seen a tiger mackerel before, so I don't know where we're going to get that from. So I think this quest is going to be like temporarily on hold until I expand my knowledge of ichthyology, all right? The trip back is taking longer than I expected it to, and as expected, we are slowly going insane. And so you're going to start to see little things pop up and generally make your travels a little bit more difficult while you're working your way through this, but it actually looks like we're getting off a little bit clean here. Oh, there's another boat out there. I've never seen another boat. I didn't even know that there were other boats. Huh. It wasn't there during the day when we went out that direction, unless you guys saw it. I didn't see it. Maybe I was paying attention poorly, but I definitely did not see it. Inside our research menu, you can take, there's a bunch of different categories here. You can take your research and you can apply it towards new outboard engines. You can apply it towards fishing rods. You can apply it towards crab pots. I grew up crabbing, and so crabbing's actually really simple. It's not a complicated thing to do. With this right here, I'll explain how it works, just in case people like live somewhere landlocked or they've never been crabbing before. But basically, ours didn't really look like this, but it's a frame, and it's got like a chain link that runs inside of there. And this bucket, you put like a chicken inside of there that's mounted to the side with a big hook. And then the crabs can smell the chicken from way off, and so they climb down inside the bucket or inside the funnel, and they can't get back out because they can't grip the side of that to climb back out. And so you'll go out in the morning and you'll throw down like 6 or 7 of these in like preordained spots that you've selected that have always given you good hauls over the years. And then you pull them back in the evening or in the afternoon, and you should have yourself a big old barrel full of crab. I will put that in storage. I think I know who will take these. Actually, I do know who will take these. Yeah. These treasures right here, we can take them to a guy across the ocean, and he'll swap them out. We still have 2 more research implements as well, and so I'd like to use those researches on better engines maybe, so a refined outboard engine or a twin prop engine. I don't know how big that is, but it seems pretty big to me. I'll throw some research at it just in case. What are these going to set me back if I go over to the shipwright? So if I wanted to pick up an engine, that right there is shaped so it's 26. I think we're better off buying 2 of the outboards. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, just send it to storage, I guess. I wanted to sell it, but I kind of messed up. And then I can go to storage and I can sell this over here, I think. It's actually not letting me sell from right there. Never mind. We just have an extra. We don't have time for this on video, okay? We're going to install one of those right there because we definitely need to be faster. And it may actually be a good thing that we still have an engine left over because it actually looks like she only has 1 of them. Okay. Fair enough. Go ahead and install it for me. We should be quite a bit faster, though. 6 knots faster, to be specific. Let's sleep this off, and we'll go drop off our treasures. There's kind of like a antique dealer, I guess, across the ocean over here. We should be a lot faster. Now, there is a downside to being faster inside of your boat. When you crash into stuff, it hurts you a lot more. Like, this game does actually take your velocity into account when you crash into things. So the faster you go, the more you injure yourself when you're flying around the ocean. Yeah, I don't see that ship over there. Maybe he's only out at night. We may have to go interact with him. You can crash into docks, though. The game doesn't really seem to care when you crash into docks. Like, it's fine with that. We've got a trader over here. Found anything special? Indeed, I have. You can take all of my treasures. Very nice. 190 bucks. That's actually way more than I was expecting to make off of that transaction. And then it looks like we've got a new quest over here that I don't think was here the last time I played the game. Is everything okay? Do you know of any shipwrecks around here? Yes, you see, my only son was lost at sea some years ago. He's still out there somewhere in one of the wrecks, all alone in the cold, dark water. The man is clearly trying his hardest to remain composed, but tremors of grief rack his body. I was wondering, I noticed you have some dredging equipment installed on your vessel. If you're able to retrieve any of his belongings from the wreck, I think he'd feel more at peace if his mementos were with me. He wore a bronze belt buckle, specially engraved. I'd recognize it anywhere. If there's a chance you could find it, I'd be in your debt. Uh-oh. You explained that you sold an engraved belt buckle to the trader. You, maybe it wasn't his. I'd better go check before he melts it down and he hurries away to the trader. Oops. Was that the quest? Oh no, dude, I didn't know. I sold his son's belt buckle because I'm greedy. Oh no, dude, that's so terrible. I'm a bad person. There was no way to know, dude. It was like finding a $5 bill in the middle of an abandoned street. Like, how was I supposed to know it belonged to some grieving father? Your storage unit in this game, it is universal. You can access it from anywhere. It will have all the stuff in it, so it's not location specific. That's a little piece of quality of life that I like very much. There was some wood over here, and I would like to gather some more wood if I could. I'm not really trying to get too far off the beaten path, but I would like to explore a little bit. Like, there's absolutely places that I haven't been. And in fact, it looks like there's a boat over here. That might be our boat. The one that we saw. Ooh, there's another wreck over here, though. Squirrel. Sorry, wrecks have treasure inside of them. Other fishermen usually just have, like, songs and jaunty tales and generally kind of, like, crankiness, if this game has taught me anything. So I'm gonna go see what this is first, because this may line my pocket. What is this? All that's left of this boat is an old husk, and you pull a little closer. Ooh, wood. I needed that. Yeah, there we go. A citrine ring. For those of you that don't know, citrine is just a yellow quartz. That's all that it is. Yellow quartz. Nothing too special, but very pretty. I mean, it's not going to make you wealthy at the pawn shop. But it is nice to look at. Approaching the island that we previously saw, I am curious if that boat, is that a wreck or is that like actually a boat? Somewhat hard to say. It appears to be a derelict. You pull up alongside a boat at anchor. There's signs of life on board, but nobody comes out to greet you. Okay, let's call out to him. Almost immediately, a small slot in the door snaps open and a pair of frantic eyes peer out at you. Who goes there? Fisherman? What do you want? I was just checking to see if you're okay. Do I seem okay? No, I'm very much not okay. I'm supposed to be delivering this package to Little Marrow, but I'm being stalked. A huge leviathan lurks in the deep water. I've seen it. It hung in the water, its gaping mouth, just below the boat. It would have swallowed my vessel whole if I hadn't bolted for the shallows. I'm not going any further into this accursed island chain. I could take the package to Little Marrow. You would? Okay, that works. All right, give me the package, man. The courier pushes a lumpy brown package through the door hole. It squelches slightly as you take it in your hands. Dark fluid oozes from a corner. Thanks, stranger. This is bound for the dock worker at Little Marrow. I'm not sure what's inside, but listen, it sounds crazy, but sometimes I can hear whispers coming from it. I'm not supposed to be transporting live goods, don't have the equipment for it, so just, like, be careful with this thing. Whatever it is. Why don't you take this, too? An item emerges from the door hole. It's a book. It pushes through and thuds onto the deck below. I'll be on my way when the coast is clear. Safe travels. Yeah, so in this game, you can occasionally read books. If you go over to your cabin, you get different books as quest rewards and as treasures that you've recovered from various locations. And when you finish reading the books, it actually gives you skills that make your character faster. It allows you to do stuff like sail faster. It allows you to do things like sell your fish for higher prices, or it allows you to get more salvage from dredging locations, if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in. Basically just expands out your gameplay a little bit. Is that a point of interest right there? It sure looks shiny, and it's got red coming off of it. All right, let's look at it. What are you? A slab of rock juts from the water, bearing crude symbols of a curved fish. At its base, a rough shape has been chiseled away. So does it want me to fill every single slot with a fish? I think it may actually want me to do that. There will be little puzzles and things you find as you go through your new... I don't know if this is New England, dude. I don't know if there's too many mountains with snow on them in New England. I've only been there once, and I was in Boston the whole time. So, like, I'm not too familiar with the East Coast. People where I come from, we don't get out much, all right? It's a small factory town that used to be like a manufacturing hub, and then, like, all the manufacturing left. And once all the manufacturing left, everybody else left, and, like, people that are from there, like me, we don't really, like, go places or do things or have adventures. We're kind of like hobbits, I guess. Oh, we got a trophy fish. Nice. The trophy fish have a multiplier on them to the amount that you get paid. So that'll be really nice. We shouldn't be out after dark like this, though. I'll probably drop the package off tomorrow? Just because sailing to Little Marrow, which is that place over there. This Big Marrow. We need to go Little Marrow. But Big Marrow is where we sleep at for right now. I'm going to go to the fishmonger, and we'll get 75 bucks for them fish right there. Not bad. We also need to go to Little Marrow to sell this ring and to sell that off, but we do, I think, have enough for a dry dock upgrade. So we can modify 4 rod spaces to also hold nets, 2 cargo spaces to hold engines, 1 cargo space to hold a light. Let's get a light because I can't stay out very long after dark, and so maybe doubling up on a lamp would be a good idea. Cool. So we got another light space. Go to the shipwright real fast. Weirdly enough, she doesn't care if we show up on her doorstep at 10 o'clock at night. Doesn't care at all. It looks like I can get a halogen spotlight, which is 1,800 lumens. It's kind of pricey, but it's doable. Cool. That lamp should extend the amount of time I can stay on the ocean for quite a bit longer. In fact, I want to test it out, and I'm feeling brave, so let's just head out to sea. Oh, never mind. My bad. Oh yeah, it looks like that's got a much better throw on it. Oop, there's some kind of freakish fish right here. Let's go check it out and point at it and laugh. Alright, so a little blue mac right there. Not worth very much. We've got the lumpy mackerel. Gross. I mean, I'm sure it's not his fault that he's lumpy. I'm guessing he didn't choose to be lumpy, but lumpy he be, alright? What are these doing? Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can get imagine the all-seeing cod. We should have a little bit more inventory space in just a minute. I'm guessing I've got to sacrifice all these fish to that shrine over there that we were looking at just a minute ago. So I'll try to cart back what and where I can over the course of the next day or two. But this is a very good game. This kind of brings me to my thoughts about the game. I think this is a tremendously unique game. I wish every game that crossed my desk was as unique as this one. This is a game that, as I said at the beginning of the video, has a tremendous sense of what it is and what it wants to be, and it doesn't really shy away from that, and I think the game does a magnificent job blending minimalism, detail. It also takes anxiety, but a little bit of kind of like a casual cozy game, and somehow mixes a cozy game with a little bit of just kind of Lovecraftian being unnerved, and somehow makes it work. Don't ask me how they managed to do it, but they managed to do it. I've delivered my package now. Hopefully I've helped you decide whether or not Dredge is for you. This is not going to be an action-packed game, but it is a game from what I've seen that definitely knows what it wants to be. It's got some good writing. I haven't seen any typos. I've had no bugs. I've had no crashes. The game runs like butter. It's $25 right now on Steam. I will be streaming this game on the day that this video goes live, and probably for the rest of the week, because I've been very excited about it, and I'd like to invite you to join me once again. But until tomorrow, it's time for me to go, where this is the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat. Every day I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games so you don't have to. Today it was Dredge, tomorrow it'll be something else. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and that's about all I've got for you. Bye, folks.